testing, testing. Oh, well, that's because you missed that's because you missed Thursday. Oh, okay. Ready? Bow. Salute. Okay, ready? First exercise. Hands up, turn. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Relax the shoulders. 1, 2, and stop. To the side. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. Okay, hands up. Reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right. To your left. Center. Inhale. Exhale. Hands up. Reach down. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Center. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Hands up. Reach down. 1, 2, 3. To your right. 2, 3. To your left. 2, 3. Center. Inhale. Exhale. Hands in your waist. Circular movements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, and stop. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center. Cross. Knees. Circular movements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Reverse. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1 and 2. Center. Hands on your waist. Turning. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Back and forth. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center to Turn, tilt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2. Center circular. Rotate. 1, 2, 3. Reverse. 1, 2, and center. Okay, hands up. Pull in, inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. Okay, spread your feet, turn your shoulders. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, and stop. Okay, center. Stretch it out. Switch. 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 Straighten the front knee. Switch. 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 Center. Okay, shake it out. Deep breathing, inhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Shoulder roll. Reverse. And center. Okay, press, release, exhale, inhale. And stop. Hands up, build deep breathing. Okay, wrists. Reverse. Okay, palms down. Okay, and step up a little bit. Everyone can get. Thanks. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, and stop. Okay, shake it out. Let's go side to side. Okay, press, lift. Okay, insert the needle. And switch. And center. Okay. Leg swing. Switch. And center, side to side. Switch. And center. Deep breathing. Inhale. Silk rilling. Switch. Open and close. Switch. Okay, Sana. Circular movements. hú. Shoulder height. Elbows down. Lower, palms down. Extend. Deep breathing. Inhale. Exhale. Okay, diagonal flying. Switch. Okay, center. Cloud hands. Okay, palms down. Carry tiger to the mountain. Center, infinity. Form the fist. Okay, palms together, strum the lute. Turn, draw the bow. Fan through the back. Okay, raise the hand. Okay, palms down, deep breathing. Okay, we'll go through sequence. Kind of shift this way a little bit. That way we won't run into the mirrors. Okay, ready? Preparation. Deep breathing, inhale. Okay, we'll try that again. Deep breathing, inhale. Okay, good. So before we go to the long form, a couple of comments. We all know the sequence, and then I watch why sometimes when we go through the form, some people are faster than others. They get to the finishing of the posture. So the reason for that is because we're dealing with space, time, and the speed of motion and the patterns. So if you're not completing the pattern or fullness and pattern to create the volume, then it's going to be faster, right? If the transitions are not complete, then that would be making it faster. And then the effort, the speed of the movement, because we don't know how much strength to use, right? So that's regulated by proprioception and understanding. So what's that all tied to? It's tied to the muscular sequencing of the motion. So the muscular sequencing is what we actually develop up here over time to create the slow motion movement and the sort of complexity of the motion. So we just kind of get from point A to point B and miss everything that's in between. You're going to finish the movement faster. We have that issue with Tai Chi. We have it with Kung Fu. We have it because if the legs aren't working, then it's going to speed it up. If the arms are not, or the waist is not twisting, then it's going to be sped up. So it's missing something, and what it's missing is the spatial components and the fullness of those patterns. So if you can kind of take that and house that, when you practice your form and you slow it down, you have to kind of build the correct amount of strength. Because in Tai Chi, the concept is use your will and not strength. So that's something that has to be interpreted. And interpreting it, this still doesn't tell you how to do it. The only way to do it and get it to happen is to do it. The body only learns through doing it. You just can't house that information here and think that tomorrow it's going to happen. It'll happen, and as you think it will happen, if you're doing it. If you're doing it consistently, and all you have to do it is 5 or 10 minutes a day on a specific thing, and then in a week or two, things start to format, and things will happen. It will slow it down. The transitional side of it and the spatial, direction of the movement isn't understood by the body, so it's not going to happen unless you do it enough to realize what happens in the spatial transition. So that's something that each individual, has as a different experience. So when you're first learning, it's all about sequence. But after sequence, and you have embodied it somewhat, you have to go through it and then slow it down and understand, why it works like that. Okay. Yeah. 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 Slow mo. So that's another stage of development where you integrate your body. So I call it the summation of components. The more parts of your body you're moving, the less strength you need at any individual section. So when I speak of hands, I mean your arms. I speak of your feet, I mean your legs. Speak of your legs, it means your feet and your hips and your knees. So if components are moving, then you use less effort. So an example of that is if I go like this, then that's an arm movement. If I go like this, that's a torso movement. If I go like this without turning and I do this, that's a leg movement. So you have to tie your legs into the waist, into the hands, and transition into the movement. So at that stage, you really don't use any effort in the arm. You're just producing a motion that gets there. So to use no strength really is impossible. You have to use the correct amount of strength, synchronize as a motor skill with sort of this integration of body we talk about. So the joints in your body are linkages, and those linkages are developed, as a sequence of events that's programmed into your brain by, that the kinetic chaining of those synapses. And synapses just, they're switches, and you think of switches as on-off. So that's what it is. Every time a switch turns on, it fires. Every time it shuts off, there's nothing there. So if your brain doesn't have those switches that are in place, then there's no messaging. So in order to get it to happen, we're not talking about one switch. We're talking about thousands, tens of thousands of switches to get this thing to happen. We can't see it happen. It just happens. But the idea of those switches, so those switches are actually not mechanical switches, they're chemical switches that are in the brain. And that causes that cycle of events. And eventually, that pattern, that mechanism gets built in there, and your body connects with it. And, at that point, that stage, you actually get feedback. As the body goes through the motion, and then it starts to feel a certain way, that experience is what allows you to correct the movement. So while we house that idea here, it's not housed here until it actually embodies it and learns it by that wiring. That's why we can do things that we did, like riding a bike, like anything that you do, it doesn't go away. It's not as good. And then it just stays there because you've already formatted that in there. So it's a process that doesn't stop in any type of physical action. It just happens. So you get better at it as long as you're doing it. But Tai Chi is very different from any other exercise because we're talking about sequential events. We're not just talking about one thing or do a push-up. That's all we're doing, right? We're doing this as a push-up, right? But it's not a push-up. It's a projection forward. You come back, you turn, you're pushing forward. Then the concept of just brush knee is more than just a push. It's really this and this. And between this and this is this. There's a twist. Between this and this is up and down. So everything is in space. We have an X, Y, Z axis. Each one of those axes have two directions. If you notice, we turn to the right, then we turn to the left. We lift up and we press down. We go turn this way, we turn this way, we go forward, and we go back. And those dimensions are blended together with a pattern. So the pattern, like carry tied out to the mountain, is really this. And when this happens, depends on how you integrate the body. So the hands, the feet, the space, and the relationship between, now you bring in another concept, passive active motion and so forth. And it gets pretty deep as long as you're doing it. So people that have been doing it a while will pick up on that idea. But, it's just a process. All right, we'll go through the long form. Then we'll pick up on some of the sections, right? Preparation. Hold the ball. Repeat. First set of cloud hands. Set up. First instep kick. Set up. Second instep kick. Cross behind. Turn. Left heel kick. And just follow the person in front of you. Actually, yeah, or you can come here, yeah. Brush knee, going to the left, brush knee and push. Same brush knee, planting punch. Turn, parry and punch. That's your back fist. Set up just like your first set of kicks. Cross behind. Lower hoop. Cross the arms, level the shoulders, elbows, right heel kick, 2 punches to the ear. Flip the hands over, parting leg left, cross over, toe, go this way, yeah. Flip the hands, parting leg, stroke down, parry and punch. Step forward. So this is a repeat, so it's just replicating what we've already done. Cross the arms, leopard and tiger springs to mountain. Carry tiger to the mountain again. Cross hands. Obliques to the corners. Grasp the sparrow's tail. Single whip to the front, hold and reverse the ball. Flip the hands over, right side diagonal flying, sit back, part the horse's mane. Let's do it twice. cross over. Oop, step up. Sorry. So you have left, part the horse mane, step up, 2 more. Cross over. Jade Lady work shuttle. And we pivot all the way to this corner. So we double pivot, double step. Jade Lady work shuttle. Part the horse's mane. Cross corner. Here's a double pivot. Jade Lady work shuttle. Grasp the sparrow's tail. Single whip. Second set of cloud hands. Single whip. Now we're going to go to downward posture. First, set up the hands, cover hand, snake sticks out tongue, invert the hands, pull down, step up, cross the hands, lift the knee, that's your right side, thrust and kick, here's your left side, then repulse the monkey, and it just repeats again. Carry tiger to the mountain. Open the stance. Elbow in and then down. Elbow in and then level. Diagonal flying again. Step up. This is another repeat. Raise the hand. Bend from the waist. Brush knee 1 time. Insert the needle to the bottom of the C. That's this. Step up, fan to the back. Turn. Second time with this turn body and parry and punch. Step forward, form the fist. Punch, divert, block, and punch. Step up, grasp the sparrow's tail. Okay, now we hold the ball, do the 3rd set of cloud hands. Turn, set up, reverse the circle, left palm strikes face, and we turn, single lotus, left brush knee, step up, planting punch or punch down the crotch. Similar movement, step up again, grasp the sparrow's tail. Hook your wrists and back to here. No more cloud hands, so we do the last downward posture. Then step up, cross the hands, retreat, ride the tiger. Turn. Double lotus, draw bow to shoot, tiger. We'll go over those, at some point in the future. Palm strikes face. Turn, parry and punch. These are all familiar movements. Set up, high pat the horse. Grasp the sparrow's tail. Hold and reverse the ball, second time. Diagonal flying right side, second time. Close and press down, like the openings, second time. Okay, deep breathing. So sometimes when we do these warm-ups or you go through Tai Chi, we want the tongue touching the roof of your mouth and we breathe through the nose, all the exercise like that. But, it's something that happens that's a unique phenomenon. When you're in a meditative state or you go through a series of these exercises, your brain goes into a certain mode and actually you will start secreting more saliva. So sometimes if people choke when they're going through it, it's because you're not swallowing the saliva. So you're going to get more saliva in your mouth than typical probably, because your mouth is closed and your tongue is touching the roof of the mouth and you're breathing through the nose. So that saliva, you should swallow it. It's, saliva is a digestive fluid, also is a cleansing. So when you swallow, it's just a natural thing that you should do. A lot of times people don't swallow and then they end up breathing and then they choke. You end up gagging. So, and that's just an explanation of why that happens. I hear it all the time. But anyways, so throughout your movements, you have to swallow. Yeah. And then, any questions? Oh, okay. Hari. Okay, all right. Yeah, we'll go over that. And then do you have a question? Same one? Where is the block? Where is?
What is this blocking?
Oh, blocking. Okay, yeah. So, what are blocks to begin with? Blocks are a defensive mechanism. Block is to stop, right? When something comes at you, you put a blockade up. That's what you're doing. So your block should be on your center line. So if we're like this, it's just a position. So if something comes at you and you go like this, you could stop it here. But that's not the most effective way of doing it. You're in a position, you might use the two sides. Because if you notice, you're transitioning into your center. Whether you do this or this is palm strikes face, this is setting up. This hand goes this way, this hand goes this way. So there's your block. So it's the position that you would want to finalize as your center line. That's the midline. Okay. So the setup is setting up your midline. And if we set up and we do, say we just did high pat toss and went 2 punches to the ear. When we stack this and the left hand's on top. When you flip the hands over, you toe out and you step up, Now you have your cross hand position, and your outside hand is with the forward leg. Your parting leg is like that. You cross over, shift your weight, you go through this toe heel pivot. Now you flip your hands over to get your left hand on top. Then when you fold your elbow and you're facing this direction, the outside hand is what's with the front leg. Right? And you do the parting leg. It's always like that. If you do all your kicks, it will always be like that. That's why we flip, and that's why we use that setup. Because once you're in the position, and I do the instep kick, it's on the outside, right? Once I do the second kick, and I flip, it's on the outside, right? If I crossed over like this, I have to flip my hands over to do the parting leg. So that's the reason. So, the rest of it is sequence. This is opening and closing in the drill. So, there's a method to the madness. You learn pieces and the body identifies with it. And then eventually you can synchronize it, and that varies with, each and every individual. So we talk about movement as essential to life, but also increasing circulation. So we circulate we circulate the fluids in the body. So, it's kind of coincidental, or maybe not, but, our body works just like a lot of machinery that we have. Or maybe those machines work like our body, who knows which came first. But you know what hydraulics are? You pump oil into these different things and it creates motions like a piston, like lifts, elevators. They sometimes use a hydraulic pump, and it pumps oil into these cylinders and it causes movement. So our body has a heart like a pump, and it pumps blood, and it causes things to happen. We do it because we need circulation to feed our cells. And with hydraulics, it's used to functionality. And then they have pneumatics. Pneumatics uses air. And with air, it has the same concept. It builds a pressure, and you can move things. So it's either air, fluids like oil, or blood, like what we use it for. And we circulate the blood for. Now, if your heart pumps too much, like a pump in hydraulics, if it pumps too much, eventually those tubes, those hoses would burst because of too much pressure. So what do they put in there? They put a relief valve. And that's a mechanical thing that opens up and lets the pressure get relieved. We have the same kind of mechanism. Even though the blood kind of seeps out of our vessels, stress could be a relief valve by clearing your mind. If you kind of, clear your mind when we do this and move, then your circulation will be better, and it'll release some of that pressure. So that pressure is something that's in your vessels, high blood pressure. So, all these things are all tied together if you try to understand it, in a different context. And, when you understand it like that, then you see that there's a value to what you're doing. It's not just randomly doing a bunch of movements and you're going to get certain benefits. So the health benefit is from that, the sequential, memory is for this, and the movement is for the functionality of your body. So they all have a purpose. And we know as we age that things can degenerate. Along all of those lines, your circulation could be bad, your mind could be bad, and your body could be dysfunctional. So, only way to work with it is to do it. All right, ready? Bow.